Namaste. Welcome to yoga with me. I'm Jane. So find a comfortable seated position on your mat. You're welcome to sit on your bottom, a block, a bolster, your knees, whatever you're comfortable on. And let's just take a couple deep breaths together just so we can anchor into this present moment to connect with our bodies, our breath, so we can maybe dive a little deeper into our meditation. So breathing a big full breath in and just sighing it out. Do two more like that. Big breath in, big breath out. Breathing in so big that your belly pops out like a baby's belly. And when you exhale, your shoulders just soften. And as you start to presence yourself in this now moment, begin to release all of the places you've been, all the things you've done previous to this now. Let go of the idea of what you need to do after this, where you need to go, what you, all those things. And come into this present moment, a time dedicated just for you to connect or reconnect with you on your mat. Offer yourself a little bit of compassion and a whole lot of grace for wherever you are in this now moment. Start to settle into your presence and your breath. Something that I wanted to share today is what today is. So I am sharing this practice on the autumnal equinox, the day that marks the balance between the light and the dark, which I see as the balance between the polarity, the balance between the feminine and the masculine energies that run in each and every one of us. The feminine energy being that dark spaciousness, a space that we can dive into and just keep on looking because it's eternally discoverable. This darkness, this cool lunar energy. And then the light, the masculine, the sun, the solar, the pointed, focused, assertive energy that we all have running through us. And how beautiful it is when these energies that are within us are balanced. When they're balanced, we are intuitive and fluid and nurturing and creative. And we can also make very clear logical steps, and we are running in a focused way. We're holding a space of ever presence. We become a container and we become the ever expansive one. When I think of the light and the dark, I think about the light and I think about the shadows. And for me, the shadows have always been the parts of me from childhood or wherever, a previous now, that were left unresolved, an emotional situation that wasn't fully processed, wasn't fully felt, was shoved aside, parts of me that I had hidden from my own self because I was too embarrassed or ashamed or afraid of being seen, being found out. So now, not releasing and getting rid of those shadow parts of us because they are a part of us. They're all the things that we've done that maybe we're not so proud of. The parts of us that are hurt and wounded and scarred. We can't get rid of these scars. They are a part of us. Rather, can we embrace these parts of us? Can we love these parts of us? Can we love this shadow? Can we love this ego that I am? That is fully integrating and being a whole being. So that's what is coming up for me in this now on this equinox day, the balance of the sun, the light, the day, and the moon time, the dark time, the night. So kind of keeping that in our mind's eye, I'd like to open up with a mantra. And I'll share it, I'll sing it 3 times. If you know it, I highly encourage you singing along. I'll tell you the translation after I share with you the words in Sanskrit. The words are Asatoma sadgamaya, Tamaso jyotir gamaya, Mrtyor amratam gamaya, shanti shanti shanti. This mantra, this prayer, translates to lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from the darkness to the light. Lead us from the fear of death to the knowledge of immortality. And in the end, Om Shanti 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 is peace, peace, peace. So you can sing along, you can speak along, you can just let these words land or move through you wherever that happens to be. But I invite you to start to connect with your breath more fully. Feel your body's weight upon this earth, feeling held and connected and supported. Feel the way your lungs fill up and expand, giving you the breath of life to move forward another day. Feel the length of your spine and all of the energy moving up and down it. Feel your presence on this earth. Together we'll take a big breath in and big breath out. Asatoma sadgamaya, Tamaso jyotir gamaya, Mrtyor amratam gamaya, shanti shanti shantih. Asatoma sadgamaya, Tamaso jyotir gamaya, Mrtyor amratam gamaya, shanti shanti shantih. Asatoma sadgamaya, Tamaso jyotir gamaya, Mrtyor amratam gamaya, shanti shanti shantih. 3 ohms to begin our practice. Breathe in for Om. Letting these vibrations move all the way to your bones. Beginning to find your way into child's pose. Heels together, knees apart. Stretching the arms and hands forward, forehead presses into the mat. Perhaps you take your forehead and roll it to the left and to the right, just kind of waking up your forehead, loosening up the skin on your face, activating and opening that third eye. Let the hips press like a magnet toward your heels. Let your chest melt into the floor. Starting to really connect with this moment in your breath. Perhaps you activate and start breathing with an ujjayi breath. Sounds like an ocean wave in the back of the throat, in through the nose and out through the nose, with a slight restriction in the back of the throat, vibrating the vocal cords and the thyroid, clearing and balancing the body. Beginning to walk the right hand to the right, perhaps to the edge of the mat or off of the mat. Let the left hand follow. Forehead presses to the floor. The left hip presses to the back of the mat. The left shoulder drops toward the floor like a magnet. Feeling length in the left side body and breathing deeply. On your next inhale, begin to walk your hands back to the center of the mat, pausing there just for a moment. And begin to walk your left hand toward the left, perhaps off of the mat, as the right hand follows. Being placed next to or on top of the left hand, let the right hip press back and down toward the back of the mat as the right shoulder just melts down toward the earth. Feeling length in the right side body. Breathing here, big, full breaths. Let the chest melt toward the earth. On your next inhale, begin to walk your hands back toward the front of the mat for child's pose and just recalibrating for a breath or two. Becoming aware of your body, the sensations inside, and the sensations on the barriers of your flesh. As you inhale, press your way into tabletop position, hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Tops of the feet press into the mat, pressing the hands press into the earth, and you feel your back almost arch up just a little bit. Draw the navel to the spine, drawing in like a magnet. We're going to set up for some cats and cows. As you inhale, you're going to look up, the tailbone lifts and the belly drops toward the floor. As you exhale, you're going to press into the floor, arching the back like a Halloween cat. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, round the belly, navel to spine, eyes toward the belly. Inhale, looking up. Exhale for cat. Do a few of these on your own breath, on your own timing. Maybe yours are faster than mine, maybe they're slower. Maybe you start to add some organic movements. You can take your hips over to the right. Let them press toward the back of the mat. Scoop up to the left, up toward the front of the mat, and making big hip circles. Starting to really lubricate the hips, the wrists, and the knees. We'll do a few of these in this direction. Big breaths in, big breaths out. When you get to the top of your mat, pause and just switch directions, or continue doing your cats and cows or whatever organic movement is calling you. Everything I'm sharing is just a guide in how to move your body. Please do what you are called to do. Listen to you. When you come back to the top of the mat, pausing in tabletop, taking your left hand and flipping it over, the palm of the hand will face up, fingertips toward the knees. You can do one at a time, or you can do both hands at a time. Beginning to really stretch and open up those forearms. If you have any type of daily activity where you're using your hands, which if you're a human, you probably are, the forearms can get very tight. From here, you can take and make little fists and then release. Make a fist and release. Make another fist and release. Releasing this, shaking the hands out. And any other organic movements that you want to take. Use some C curves, just starting to really wake up the spine. Coming into this neutral tabletop. Tucking the toes and pressing into the floor with your hands. Just lift your knees up just to hover them an inch off the floor. Let the navel magnetize again to the back of the spine, keeping your core just engaged, pressing the floor away from you, pressing your tailbone to the back of the room, taking a breath in, exhale, let it go, extending the left leg out, kickstand the right foot out, inhale the left arm up high to the sky, inhaling as you look up. And I like to do these, they're a little, I don't know what they're called, I like to feel like they're rainbows. So I reach over, palm faces down, and I take a breath in, all the way, and I take a breath out, and I make rainbows. So do a few of these. Breathing in and out of your nose. Oops, almost took that lamp down. One more inhale up. Exhale, coming back into almost a tabletop. From here, with that left leg extended out, lifting it up toward the ceiling and taking the right arm out in front of you for a spinal balance. Breathing big full breaths here. Press the heel of the foot to the back wall and reach ahead of you, bicep next to the right ear. Reaching as if you are just about to shake the hands of your future self and saying, yeah, I got you, come on. Big breaths here. Another breath in. Exhale, tabletop. Extending the right, extend the right foot out behind you, kickstanding the left foot. Sorry, you get a butt shot. Inhale, the right arm up high. Reach that hand up toward the ceiling. Fingers are active. As you exhale, reach over the head, bicep next to the ear, shoulders back and down. Inhale, reaching all the way up and around, making rainbows. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in as you rise. Exhale as you reach. Inhale to rise. Exhale to reach. Just feeling lengthen that side body as the outer blade of the right foot presses into the earth. Big breath in. Exhale, palms to the mat. Recalibrate and realign your left foot into that half tabletop, lifting the right foot and pressing the heel to the back wall and extending that left arm out ahead of you. Toes face down, bicep next to the left ear, shoulder is back and down, fingers are reaching out ahead of you, letting the belly button pull in toward the spine, gaze is down, the back of the neck is long. Breathing big. Another breath in. Exhale, palm down, tabletop position. Tucking the toes, pressing the tailbone to the back of the mat, pressing into the earth with your hands, lifting the knees up just to hover for another breath. Breathing in, And breathing out. Tucking, keeping the toes tucked. Lift the tailbone up to the sky, setting up for your downward facing dog. From here, shift into high plank, and you may need to move your hands to give yourself a longer placement. This will be your placement as best as possible. And then going back into downward facing dog, tailbone lifts. Your feet can be together, hips distance apart, mass distance apart, whatever's comfortable for you. You can keep a soft bend in the knees. Begin to walk out your dog, lifting one foot at a time with each breath. Let the head hang heavy. You can shake it yes and no. Let the chest magnetize toward the shins, coming into a still downward facing dog. Palms of the hands are flattened, pressing equally into the earth. The shoulders are drawn back and down. As you inhale, shift into high plank. Exhale down to the knees, chest, chin, and then inhale for cobra. So pressing the hands into the earth, the tops of the feet press into the earth, and the chest lifts, the eye gaze is down to keep the back of the neck long. Taking a breath in. As you exhale through bent knees, downward facing dog. We're going to do 2 more of those, breathing in for high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, chest, cobra. Breathing in. Perhaps you take your hands off of the mat and let them hover for another inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog through bent knees. One last time. Come up on the tiptoes, moving into high plank, taking a breath in. Exhale, knees, chin, chest, cobra. Breathing in. Another inhale. As you exhale through bent knees, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high to the sky. Hips are even as possible. Toes point down. Equal weight in both hands. Taking another inhale. Exhale, step the right foot forward to meet your hands. That may take multiple steps. It's all good. From here, drop to the back left knee, keeping the toes tucked. You can stay here or bring your hands to your knees. Taking the left arm, inhale, reach it up high. And just lean a little bit or a lot of it over to the right. I feel this in my left front hip flexor and my entire left abdominal area. Breathe big, full breaths. On your inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, palm the mat, tucking, or your toes are already tucked, lifting the back knee up, stepping back into high plank. From here, we can chaturanga, or you can drop to the knees. If you're going to do a traditional vinyasa, you'll exhale almost all the way, untuck the toes, pressing up to upward facing dog, rolling over the toes to downward facing dog. Breathing here. Upward facing dog is not in your practice. You can stick with cobra, a baby cobra, a big cobra, whatever is in your comfort practice. Inhale the left leg up. Squaring the hips, pressing the heel to the back of the room. Let the head be heavy. Let the right heel melt to the floor as you take another breath in. Exhale, step it forward. Dropping to that back right knee. Inhaling both hands to the left knee. From here, you can inhale your right arm up to the ceiling and just lean a little bit or a lot of it to the left. Inhale, reach both arms up high. Exhale, palm the mat, lift the right knee up, step back to high plank, and vinyasa is yours, and we can meet in downward facing dog. You can also drop all the way to your belly. Inhale for your cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high. Bending the knee, letting that right knee aim toward the ceiling as the right heel magnetizes toward the glutes. Opening up as you inhale, lift that right leg high. Exhale, step it through for warrior two. Cartwheeling the hands up. Oh, look, I can see now. Settle into this warrior two. Let the outer blade of the back left foot press into the earth. Look down at your right knee and see if it's tracking over the toes or if it's pulling in toward the center of the mat. Let it pull out. Let the shoulders drop back and down. Gazes toward the front fingers. Breathing big full breaths. Scoop it up and back for peaceful warriors. You breathe in. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step it back, high plank, and the vinyasa is yours. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high. Bend the knee deep, open the hip. Let the head be heavy. Let the left heel magnetize toward the glutes. Inhale, lifting the left leg high. Exhale, step it through for warrior two. Bending deep into that left knee. Let the outer blade of the right foot press into the earth. Let the shoulder blades draw back and down. Feel sturdy and steady. Feel the spine be long. Let the head magnetize toward the ceiling. Sometimes it takes a warrior to cut through the shadows, to shine the light into this world. Be the warrior. You can be a peaceful warrior as you inhale, scoop it up and back. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Vinyasa is yours. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Taking a breath in, sighing it out. Inhale the right leg high. Step it through, warrior two. Breathe in. Inhale, scoop it up and back, peaceful warrior. Straighten the front leg for a straight-legged peaceful warrior. Feel length in that right side body. As you inhale, come up, setting up for Trikonasana, for triangle, reaching forward as far as you can. Let the hand land on a block or a shin, your foot. Let the left arm rise. Let the gaze follow. Let the heart open toward the ceiling. Let the shoulders be drawn back and down. Can the breath be full? Can the knees be micro bent? Can you feel the strength in your back left leg? Inhale, peaceful warrior, up and back. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back to high plank, lift the right arm up for side plank, Vashisthasana. From here, you can lift the right leg up, a little bit, a lot of it, Or you can even step it back for a wild thing. Open up the chest, let the head drop back. Inhale for 3-point, right leg up high to the sky. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, sigh it out. Inhale the left leg high. As you exhale, step it through for warrior 2, up and back. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Straighten that front leg. Exhale, hands come out like a T. Reach forward with that left hand, set up for a triangle as the left hand reaches and meets the shin or a block or the floor. Gaze lifts, heart rotates toward the ceiling. Reaching up toward the heavens with these beautiful fingers. Feel strength and stability in that back leg, micro bending in the knees, keeping them just soft enough. Scoop it up and back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back to high plank, placing the weight in the right hand, left arm lifts for side plank. Lift the left leg if you can. You can step it back behind you for a wild thing. Ooh, so many things. Breathing. Next inhale, 3-point, left leg lifts. Exhale, downward facing dog. Recalibrate, keep your neck soft. Taking the hands, walking them back toward the feet. Walk the feet out as wide or wider than the mat. Perhaps the toes point out just a little bit. Let your booty drop. I'll move forward a little bit. Okay. Just setting up for Malasana. Taking the hands and pressing them together at the heart center, letting the elbows press on the inside of the knees and let them leverage and press the knees out. Let the tailbone drop, the crown of the head lifts, gaze is forward, face is soft, the heart is light. Perhaps you move back and forth. Maybe you just bounce a little bit. Maybe you can both at the same time, because why not? Because we can. Sometimes the light is joy. Most often it is. Taking a breath in. Exhale, palm the mat, lift the booty up, forward fold. You can heel toe the feet together or hips distance apart and let the head drop. Take an elbow in each hand. Shake the head yes. Shake the head no. Shake the head left to right. And shake it however you want to shake it. And just let it come to its own stillness without forcing it to stop. Keeping a soft bend in the knees. Every inhale you feel your spine get long. Every exhale you feel your head dropping closer to the earth. Letting the hands fall to the floor. You're going to inhale and you're going to halfway lengthen, placing the hands on the shins. Feeling the spine be long. The tailbone magnetizes toward the back of the mat, the back of the room, as the crown of the head pulls toward the front of the room. The gaze is down, the back of the neck is long. Feeling strength and length in the hamstrings and the back of the legs. The navel is tucked in. Taking another inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Heel toe the feet together. My toes touch and I keep my heels about 1 inch apart. Dropping the Booty down, keeping hold of the floor. Inhale for Utkatasana chair. Bending deeply into those knees, letting the inner thighs spiral toward each other. Let the navel suck in toward the spine. Gaze is steady. Hands reach up toward the corners of the room, making an angle toward the earth behind you. Feeling your body shake, quiver, burn, sweat. Feeling your body be alive. Take a breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Reach all the way up to stand. Gaze lifts. Feeling the feet rooting into this earth. Length in the side bodies. Palms together, perhaps a slight back bend on the inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking the right foot, stepping it up forward about 2 or 3 feet. Taking the left foot, stepping it out toward the edge of the mat. So it's going to be like you're standing on a railroad track. You're going to inhale and lengthen the spine. You're going to exhale with that flat back and just hinge forward for pyramid. Your hands can go to blocks, the floor. Relax your head. Perhaps your head touches your shin. Perhaps you're nowhere close. Wherever you are is perfect. Keeping a micro bend in that right knee. Keeping the neck soft, the breath full. As you inhale to rise, lift the left knee up for stork. Breathe in. As you inhale, exhale, hands to heart center, scooping that left leg back into warrior 3. Toes face down, the heel presses to the back wall. Feel sturdy in that standing leg. Heart is open, take a breath in. Exhale, standing splits, hands down to the mat. The right leg lifts, the left leg lifts, the left hip goes neutral and even with the right. Breathe in, breathe out. Stepping back into a low lunge, bending deep into that right knee. Inhale, rise for crescent. Exhale, hands to heart center, twist to the right. You can open up your arms here. You can go into side crow. You can play. Whatever you do, breathe. Another breath in. Come back into your twisted crescent. Inhale to center, take a breath in. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back for high plank. Vinyasa is yours. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Walking the hands to the back of the mat to meet your feet. Walking the heels and toes to the edge of the mat. A slightly wide leg forward fold. You can take your hands behind your back, clasp them, and let them fall forward. Let the head be heavy, and breathe.
Another breath in. Exhale, release the bind. Heel toe the feet together. Toes touch, heels slightly apart. Bending the knees deep, setting up for your second chair. Inhale as you rise. Dropping the booty low. Breathing full. Perhaps you lift your toes up. Look down at your knees, see if they're next to each other. Can your thoughts be light? Another breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach up high. Hands to high prayer, Urdhva Hastasana. Breathe in for a slight back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking the left leg, stepping it forward, setting up for that second pyramid on the other side. Making sure that the feet are a little wider apart. Not quite the distance of the mat, but it's your body. You'll figure it out. Taking a breath in, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, hinge forward with that flat back. Into your pyramid. Both feet are aiming and facing forward. The head is heavy. A micro bend in that left front leg. Breathing into the sensations and listening to your body. On your next inhale, rise up to stork as the right leg lifts. Exhale, hands to heart center. Warrior three as the right foot presses to the back wall. Toes face down, heel lifts, hips even, chest open, back of the neck is long, and breathing. Big full breaths. Another breath in. Exhale, palm the mat, chest drops, head drops, foot lifts, right hip drops, standing splits. Let's see. Stepping the right foot back into that low lunge, into crescent, inhale. Almost forgot what I did for a second. Exhale, hands to heart center, twist to the left. You can open your arms. You can do side crow. Press the right heel to the back if you're here in a twisted crescent. Coming back up to center, inhale. Exhale, palm the mat, step back, high plank. Exhale, vinyasa is yours. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in and sigh it out. Coming down to tabletop, knees to the mat, keeping the toes tucked, setting up for a modified, well, I'm calling it modified. It's probably not really modified, it's just a version of camel. This may be enough for you. Keeping the toes tucked, taking the hands to the lower back, palms face, fingertips face up if possible.
As you breathe in, hips come up, chest lifts, head drops back. Pressing the hip points forward, heart lifts, breath is full. Another breath in, exhale, release, untucking the toes and just sitting down just for a breath. Tucking the toes, coming up for your second camel, hands pressed to the back. You can stay here as the chest lifts and the hips point forward. You can also take your hands to the heels and the chest lifts, head drops back, hip points forward, and breathe. Your next inhale, gently come up by placing your hands on your lower back and giving yourself a gentle assist, untucking the toes and sitting down. Feeling the energy move through your spine. Setting up for the third camel. I want this one to be fun. So, because those were not fun enough. I know. So tucking the toes, taking the hands and grabbing both of the heels, and with as much of a flat back as possible, we're going to inhale and the right arm is going to lift. So you're going to go into like a side, like a one-armed camel. A one-armed camel, I can't even imagine. That'll be your inhale. As you exhale, you're going to come down, both hands touch the heels. Inhale, the left arm is going to rise. As you exhale, the hands are going to come down. So we're going to do that with our own breath, one movement. So I'll call what I do, but you do you, boo, please. Inhale, right arm lifts, hips lift. Exhale, hands back. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, hands back to the heels. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, left arm lifts as you breathe in. Do a few more of these on your own breath, own timing. Can you make it fun and fluid? Almost like you are the light shining through the darkness of the world. Would you be fun about it? Can you have a smile on your face? Could you breathe full breaths? 2 more. 1 more on each side. As you come down, untuck the toes, knees together, child's pose. Letting the hips press toward the heels, the arms and hands reach out ahead of you, the forehead to the mat. Feel your breath and heartbeat. On your next breath in, press up to tabletop. Crisscross applesauce, sit back on your bottom. Extending the right leg out ahead of you. The left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Setting up for Janu Sirsasana. Inhale, both arms reach up high, spine is long. Exhale, hinge forward. Your hinge may be totally forward. Your hinge may be off to the side. I like to take my left hand to the outer blade of my right foot as my left knee becomes heavier and heavier. My head becomes heavy. My breath is still focused. I'm not pulling and efforting to get my head down even further.
Rather, I am letting gravity do what it does. I release all resistance and effort and focus on my breathing. As I breathe in and I breathe out. On your next inhale, begin to gently walk your hands up your leg to a seated position, taking the left arm behind you like a second spine, extending the right arm out ahead of you, sweeping all of the energy up and back as you stretch out that right hip flexor as you breathe in so big. Now on your exhale, you're going to come out the way you came in. We'll do a gentle switch of legs. Extending the left leg out, right sole of the foot to the inside of the left thigh. Breathing in as the spine lengthens. Exhale, hinging forward. Again, I like to take my right hand and cross it to the outside of my left foot, left calf, left thigh, because I like the way it feels on my side body. Every exhale, my right knee gets a little heavier and my head relaxes just a little bit more. Your head may rest on your knee or your shin. You can rest your head on your hand or a block. Letting go of resistance and effort and surrendering into the present moment. Just you and your breath. Completing another deep breath cycle. And on your next inhale, begin to gently walk your hands up to a seated position, taking the right arm, right hand behind you like a second spine, extending the left arm out ahead of you, scooping it up and back, feeling length in your body, opening the heart. On your exhale, coming back down the way you came in, extending both feet out ahead of you. Shaking the mat a little bit, and I moved my assets out of the way so that my sits bones magnetize right up on the floor space, right on the earth. Setting up for Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Taking a breath in, letting the spine become long as you hinge forward with as flat of a back as possible. And wherever you bend and fold to is perfect. Every day is different. Sometimes you'll be more flexible, less flexible, depending on what you lived through the previous day. Be easy on yourself. Be a witness to where you are. Are you shining more light, or are you being with and as your shadow? Can you be accepting of whatever it is and wherever it is you are? Can you let your forehead rest on something, a block, your hands, your shins, your knees? Let your nervous system calm down. still being very intentional with your breath. Letting that be where the mind is focused, while the body just allows itself to be in discovery of the release of resistance. Another couple breaths here. Big and wide. On your next breath in, begin to gently and slowly come up, one vertebrae at a time, thanking your legs. Thank you, thank you, thank you, legs. Continuing to roll back onto your back. Laying down, bringing both knees in for a hug. Give them a squeeze. I like to roll around a little bit because it feels good. Extending both feet up toward the ceiling. These feet are beneath us so often until we lay down and go to bed. Let's give them the opportunity to take a load off, to let all the blood come back down into the body, into the organs, to be filtered and processed and reoxygenated and made new again. Let's take a load off. You can also rest your feet on a wall, and you can do this on a wall every day after you get home from work or from standing or from going for a walk or a run or whatever. Do this for about 5 or 10 minutes every day. You'll notice a big difference in so many things in your physical, your emotional, and your mental. Calms your nervous system. You can stay here. You can go into happy baby, taking the outer soles of the feet into the hands. And I like to rock my happy baby because it's just more fun. Pulling the feet and legs down toward the earth. Couple of breaths here. Your next inhale, extending the legs out, bring them in for that gentle squeeze and letting the knees fall over to the left for a supine twist. Taking the right arm and extending it out like a T. Let the eye gaze follow off to the right. The left hand can be placed on the outside of the right knee to give yourself just a gentle assist. Let the right shoulder be heavy. Let the breath be soft. Let this twist detoxify the body. Let it wring out what is no longer serving us. On your next breath in, bring the knees back up to center, giving them a little squeeze. On your next exhale, let the knees drop over to the right. Let the left arm extend out, eye gaze and Head follows. I like to take my right hand on the outside of my left knee to give myself an assist as my left shoulder becomes heavy. Noticing how the body feels on this side compared to the other. No judgment, just out of curiosity. Can a sense of relaxation and peace move through every muscle fiber with every exhale? Can the inhales be big and full to oxygenate the blood, the body, the mind? Another couple of breaths here. On your next inhale, gently bring both knees back up to center. Give them another loving squeeze. And then squeeze them even more and bring your forehead to your knees. And give yourself a squeeze like, OMG, I love you so much. Perhaps you rock to the left and to the right. Maybe forward and backward just a little bit, just to get some movement in the spine. And it's just fun. Because how often do you get to do that? And then come back down on your back. Stretch your legs out, setting up for Shavasana. Like this. You can stay in Shavasana during the rest of this practice and I will call you out. Or if it's in your practice and your desire, you're welcome to sit up for a seated meditation. If you're laying down in Shavasana, wiggle the heels to the left and to the right. The feet move, 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 and then let them just drop where they may. Perhaps the palms are face up. Perhaps you have a hand on your belly or your heart. The eyes soften and close. And you let go of any breathing techniques and you just let your body breathe naturally. Shavasana is a final resting pose. There's nothing to do, nowhere to be. This is where you drop in to stillness and just be. Receive the efforts of your practice. Let the prana that was generated, the energy that was generated, move throughout your body. Settle where it needs healing. Take this time to just relax. Let the body feel heavy as if the earth is supporting you fully. Your next exhale, your shoulders become heavier.
The awareness of your breath in this present moment begins to enter your conscious awareness. You begin to feel the weight of your body on this earth. Perhaps your head moves to the left and to the right, giving yourself a little gentle scalp massage. Perhaps you move and wiggle your fingers and toes. And keeping your eyes closed, begin to press yourself up to a seated position. Placing your hands in Anjali Mudra at your heart center, thumbs press into the space where this eternal love is within. We'll end the way we began, with one Asatoma and 3 ohms to seal in the practice, to remind us to be led from the unreal to the real, to be led from the darkness to the light, to be led from the fear of death to the knowledge of immortality. May it all be done in peace, peace, peace. May this be the world that we walk in. Asatoma, sadgamaya, Tamaso, jyotir, gamaya, Mrtyor, amratam, gamaya. Shanti, bringing this prayer to your third eye, bowing to you, to this light that you are, to the light that we all are. In love and compassion, namaste. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. I would love any feedback so I can better serve you and whatever that looks like. So until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and I look forward to seeing you again.